Welcome in to Heard It Here First, the Game of the Week edition, as this is going to be the first time we have interviews for the Game of the Week. We interview quarterback Camden Huff of the Manor Mustangs. We get an interview with left tackle Braelyn Johnson of the Hutto Hippos. In this Game of the Week, this is going to be a dogfight. Hutto is now moved into 6A and won their first game against a really good Cedar Ridge team. Cedar Ridge finished at the bottom of this district last year, but returned a numerous amount, almost, I want to say over 20 starters. And so this team, I didn't have, if you look into my predictions, I didn't have Cedar Ridge at the bottom. I have them up there in the middle, right there around with Hutto, Manor, Round Rock, Stony Point. Those are all teams that are all. It's going to be a clash in this district, and I don't think this year there will be one team that. Last year, Cedar Ridge went 0-7 or 0-8 in district. I don't think you're going to have that this year. I think you're going to have a win in every single column from every single team, and it's going to start this week with Hutto versus Manor. Caden Steffick has thrown for over 700 yards and 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he has a really good offensive line protecting him and giving him plenty of time with their running backs averaging over 4 yards a carry. They have a really good offensive line, but I don't think they've met a front like Eddie Robinson and Jackson Cofield, and as well as Damian Golly. This front, mostly with those defensive ends and the rush that they give, is going to give Braelyn and them a handful. Now, if I was Manor, I would probably stay away from Braelyn's side. I would maybe overload the right tackle and try to shoot him from that side, because Braelyn's a very athletic, quick-footed. Uh, he's a big dude, but he's not a big dude, so it makes him light, and he is agile. And so I think he will be able. It was going to be a dogfight with our defensive ends and that left tackle, but if maybe we shift to the other side, Manor does, and kind of get it on the right side, they might have a little bit more luck with that. But Manor is a well-coached team. Coach Compton has done good with this team, and Manor and Hutto, the reason I really wanted this to be the game of the week is because this has been a team that, since Hutto moved up in 2004, 2005 district, when Rockdale, Manor, Hutto, Cameron, Giddings were all in the same district, only two of those teams have continued to climb the ladder, and that's been Manor and Hutto. Now we got these two teams in 6A with a long, friendly rivalry of over 20 years, or close to 20 years, I believe. And so this is going to be a drag-out game. You go over to Manor's offense, Camden, the starting quarterback, Camden Huff, as well as starting wide receiver Jordan Clark and Ronzel Woods and Johnny Surehands. And I'll get that last name, Johnny. I just, man, you've been a great receiver. And then they got Xavier Hill running the ball, as well as a sophomore running back. Their offense has looked really good. Bowie is a team that competes against Westlake and Lake Travis. Harker Heights is a team that just lost by 3 points to Dripping Springs, and Dripping Springs is a dang good team. So Coach Keller's pre-district, he didn't give them no break. He made sure that they were playing really good teams, and I think that is going to be a huge transfer into district and a really big advantage point for Manor, as they are 0-2, but they've lost to tremendous teams, playoff teams, and I think that honestly, this is going to be a game within 7 points. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think this 6A District 25 is probably one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas, because from 8-1, now it's wide open. Vandergrift is playing against some teams and Stony Point's giving them a run for their money. Stony Point's going to be good. Round Rock, Manor, Hutto, such an interesting district, and we're going to start it here, week 2 of District 25 play, but Manor's first district game, and we're going to start it with an interview with Camden Huff, Manor quarterback, and leave you with an interview from Braelyn Johnson, left tackle from the Hutto Hippos. All right. Welcome in, guys, to Heard It Here First, your Central Texas showcase of premier talent. But today we're doing the game of the week, and we're going to do our first stop here in Manor, Texas. Manor versus the Hutto Hippos in y'all's district opener, but Manor's second district game. I mean, in Hutto's second district game, you had a really tough pre-district. Coach Keller made sure that he gave y'all good, talented teams to compete against, and huge lines, huge defensive lines, man, that y'all went up against. Both teams going to be playoff teams. Both teams were playoff teams last year. Talk to us about the learning experience you got in your pre-district play.
For me personally, I mean, overall, I just gotta read the defense better and just execute better. Also, offense wise, me personally and offense wise, we gotta execute better. And then defense, they've been doing their job. They can execute a little better too, because there's always room for improvement. But overall, I mean, just execute.
Yeah, your defense has been great. The pressure's been there with Robinson and with Godley. You have a great linebacker in Jackson Cofield. Talk to me about Jackson Cofield. I don't know how I missed him in the preseason. That dude is a dog. Talk to me
Yeah,
about Jackson Cofield.
Jackson's a dog. He's one of the dudes that will like stay after practice and get extra lifts in and just do little drills after practice and all that. And yeah, he's a dog. He's gonna be up there in the ranks and maybe nationally. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a dog.
I could tell the work ethic is there. I could tell the drive is there for sure. And your defense has looked really good. I think your offense has looked pretty good. Y'all have had really, even though in an 0-2 start, there has been huge bright spots in y'all's game. You've had really great receivers in Jordan Clark and Johnny Buenda, I think.
Buhenwa.
Buendwa.
Mm.
Okay, I call him Johnny Surehands. Johnny Surehands, because that dude, everything you throw his way, he snags. And Ronzel Woods. But let's talk about your running backs. Hill, Xavier Hill, and
Jordan Walker.
And Jordan Walker, who has the only rushing touchdown from the running backs. Jordan Walker. Talk to me about your running backs.
So overall, I mean, we have a good running back room. Both of them are really good. Like Xavier Hill, he's in my grade, class of 2026. He's also a dog. Like he be putting in extra work from what I know, and like he also lifts extra. Me and him will lift and all that. And yeah, he's gonna be good. He came from Stony Point, he's a transfer, so yeah.
I know when he runs the ball, he runs with the lean. The dude, you can run him between the tackles. He's not afraid of contact, and he is a very elusive runner as well. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all get into the predicament where you get to utilize your run game a little more instead of having to rely on the pass if we're playing a little behind. But all in all, I have really seen a lot of bright points. Now we're going into district. You got Hutto, who has a really good offense. They 2 games they put up 63 points. They got a defense that has allowed a few points though. So what are y'all doing to prepare against this Hutto defense?
Film. We're watching a lot of film and game planning. We game plan off the film, so we've been watching a lot of film. Like last week we had a bye week, we've just been watching straight film. So this week is gonna be straight game planning, and yeah, we're gonna be ready.
Man, I'm super excited. This is the first game of the week. We did Rotterdam and Hempstead, who Rotterdam did end up winning that game. I didn't get to get all of this, and now we're giving you a preview from the backyard. Now that you going against a really good offense, what do you think your defense has to do to slow down Caden Steffick and this explosive offense?
I mean, I can't say too much on our game plan, but we're gonna definitely have to have a QB spy or something because he's really physical. Caden Steffick is really a really physical quarterback. He has wheels. He has a really good eye for like the defensive keys, and yeah, we're gonna.
I had the luxury of talking to Braelyn Johnson, starting left tackle for the Hutto Hippos, and he was like, "Man, Cameron started quarterback, and y'all grown up together, and you know, Calissa and Amy have been really good friends for a long time. So now you got that friendly rivalry. Fortunately for both of y'all don't have to face each other. Y'all are both offensive guys. What do you gotta say to Braelyn? And there's no friendly. I mean, he was just like, go Hutto. You know, what do you got to say? Any little friendly trash talk, or are we just having fun this week?
No trash talk. It's just good luck to him. He's one of my best friends, so I mean, I wish him the best.
Yeah, Braelyn's is a great young man. Camden, you're an awesome young man, and we're looking forward to maybe getting some Manor defensive guys in here because I want to show them the spotlight. They have really had y'all's back. Y'all have had their back, and one thing I did notice in week 2, we cleaned up a lot of the mistakes that we had in week 1. There wasn't as many of the turnovers. There wasn't the fumbles. There wasn't as many interceptions. We definitely tightened up. And as you're on that learning curve, what's the biggest thing that you've learned today or in this short time?
Biggest thing I learned is just not to force the ball and like just take what the defense gives me instead of just like I just said, force the ball. And Like just read the defense better overall. I mean, Harker Heights, I started to read the defense better, but like this upcoming week, I mean, I've been focusing on a lot of film, so I mean, I'm definitely good.
I can't. I'm gonna step away from the herd it here first and go straight into the Uncle Road. Like, dude, you have no idea how proud I am. Like when I've seen you play, I've watched both the games all the way through, and I kid you not, Camden. Like you have that it factor. I've seen you take licks and get back up. I seen your elbows bloody as crap at the end of the game, and you get back up. That resilience and the leadership, and with you and the receivers. And when y'all click, it's dirty, man. You're talking about 70-yard run. So dude, I'm super proud of you. Like dead
Thank you.
serious, man. And back to my role, guys. Y'all be ready to watch a great football game this week and some 6A football as Manor is hosting the Hutto Hippos here at Manor Stadium. For myself, Gerald Garza, Camden Huff, guys, thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed evening. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with the great interview with Camden Huff, junior quarterback of the Manor Mustangs. Like we talked about in the intro, we talked about what we think maybe Manor could do to try to overcome Hutto's hot offense. Maybe get some. We're going to have to get pressure on Kate Steffick. Kate Steffick is a heck of a ball player, so definitely need pressure on him. It's double coverage on Brayton Anderson. Brayton Anderson's one heck of a wide receiver, and I would like to see some of the run game a little more. Hopefully, we're not playing from behind, and we get to establish our run game and see some of these running backs in and Hill and Walker. Xavier Hill has 97 yards, 4.2 yards averaging. Johnny Walker has a rushing touchdown. Jordan Clark is phenomenal. He has 15 receptions, 213 yards, two touchdowns, eight carries, 49 yards, one touchdown. Jordan Clark is a super athletic young man that's going to be he's very hard to stop. Johnny Surehands with 11 receptions and 194 yards. Ronzel Woods with four receptions, 64 yards. The defense led by Damon Godley, Jackson Cofield, and Eddie Robinson. So with two losses on the season against Bowie and Harker Heights, we know what Manor has had a tough schedule, and as they invite Hutto over to their house this week in the game of the week, we that's kind of the keys to the game on what we think here should happen for Manor. Now let's switch over to the Hutto Hippos. For the Hutto Hippos, when it comes to their offense, and I said, well, what would you do to beat this Manor team? Just continue to do what you do. They have already put up 63 points in two games. Kate Steffick with 727 yards, 12 touchdowns, zero interceptions. Huge shout out to the Hutto offensive line, keeping his pocket clean and having him being able to deliver dots all season. Brayton Anderson, 295 yards, six touchdowns. He's responsible for half of Steffick's touchdowns. And so when it comes to the Hutto Hippos, I think you just continue to do what you do offensively, and I think you're going to be just fine this week in this game. Now, defensively, I feel Hutto will definitely have to tighten up. The Manor offense have shown really explosive plays, and you'll have to definitely tighten up on some of these wide receivers in those big plays in order for you to get the win against Manor. I think if you allow Manor to get into the 30 points, that it's going to be a shootout, and you'll be looking at another week of like the Cedar Ridge game, which Cedar Ridge is a dang good team. I think Hutto's right there with those. They're all in a Hutto, Cedar Ridge, all of them are right there toe to toe. So Manor does have a dangerous offense, and they have a really good defense. I think Hutto's defense will just have to try to contain these wide receivers and limit the run game to their best of their ability. Braden Daniel has 31 total tackles on the season, and we will give you some of these Hutto Hippos um, defensive highlights where you can see Michael Blaylock, the sophomore cornerback, getting a great open field tackle. And then you also see on this next play, which Braden Daniel and Cameron Banks has three interceptions on the season. But on this next one, you see Hutto, how they can really stuff the run. And so I think this play is why I put this on here. This is the play you'll have to make against the Maynard's running backs and force them to pass um, in order to get your W this week. So you have the keys of the game for Manor. You have the keys of the game for Hutto. This is the game of the week. I'm looking forward to a really good shootout. I'm not going to pick who or what, as I'm going to try to stay out of these games of the week. Give a point of view from each side, what each team could do, and then just look forward to a really good game. The Hutto Hippos starting left tackle Braelyn Johnson. I had the chance to stand up with him outside of the Hutto Hippo Stadium and get a great interview. Guys. All right, guys, welcome in to Heard It Here First. We're back in Hutto, Texas for the game of the week where the Hutto Hippos travel out of town and go to Manor, Texas, where Manor and Hutto will be playing in Manor's first district game. Y'all are coming off of a district win. Talk to us about that district win against a really good Cedar Ridge team, returning a lot of players, and it was a high-scoring game. Talk to us about that game.
I feel like we had a great game on the offensive side, and defense we could have played a little bit better, but we definitely did our thing. We had a few picks. We did pretty good. Pretty good.
And
Pretty
by
solid.
the way, guys, I apologize. This is the 6'1", 210-pound Braelyn Johnson, the starting left tackle for the Hutto Hippos. Braelyn, this isn't your first year either. You played as a sophomore
Yes, sir.
on this varsity team.
Yes, sir.
So you and Coach Compton, you've been familiar with Coach Compton and his work. Talk to us about your head coach and how y'all now transitioning back into 6A, how he has y'all prepared.
He's prepared us great. Doing practices, and we have great practices. It's just I don't know. It's just
It got you dialed in.
yeah, dialed in.
Yeah, I've seen Hutto's success. It's been 2005, 2006, whenever we had Hutto and Manor in the district, and that was when we were all in 3A when I played for Rockdale.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so I've watched Manor and Hutto go from 3A to 6A, and somehow, some way, Manor and Hutto continues to find each other and to these little friendly rivalries. Let's talk about your quarterback. Kate Steffick has thrown for over 700 yards, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Talk to us about your quarterback, Steffick.
Yeah, my quarterback, he's a great QB. You know, coming from Will Hammond, 4-star Texas Tech QB.
Yep.
He's great. He's throwing the ball great. He's getting out the pocket, staying in the pocket, and just all around a great player.
He seems like he's a really poised quarterback, and you seem like you're a really poised gentleman yourself. When the gentleman has 0 interceptions, that tells me that the front line, the linemen are doing some work up
Yes,
there,
sir.
and that y'all are giving them time. Let's shine some light on the big fellas up front. Tell me maybe one that's under you that you can cut that you're bringing up, and one that guided you, even if he's still not here. Somebody that kind of guided you along the way.
Okay, my inspiration really was Preston Honeycutt, UTSA. He's a
Okay.
tackle there, and our up and coming is Jaden Mack. He's 6'4", about 290, very big. He's a good player. Few offers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Y'all's defense has been good. Y'all have put up 2 games. Y'all been over 63 points. Tough loss against Judson. That was on the road, correct?
Yes, sir.
That was over there in their territory, and so that was a tough road loss. Now y'all travel to Manor this week. What are you doing to prepare against? Really, they got some really good defensive ends, and Eddie Robinson and Damon Golly. Talk to us about how y'all are preparing for that good rush and this Manor team. I apologize.
Yeah, our offensive line coach is getting us mentally prepared and physically prepared. He's getting us to watch film, keeping us maintained and locked in, dialed in, and just ready to play.
Before we go any further, or before I let you go, I know, man, I picked the hottest time of the day to be out here. But the one gentleman two of them, Michael and Messiah Blaylark, who I interviewed prior to this season, Michael's now playing cornerback as a sophomore for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Michael, talk to us about Michael and talk to us about these underclassmen, the sophomores that are on the varsity roster, and even some that were on the brink, like Messiah is a great athlete, and how y'all are molding them up to this next generation of Hutto Hippos.
I think they're awesome players, and coach is really keeping an eye on them and making sure they're doing their thing in practice, make sure they're getting reps, even if it's mental reps.
Yeah.
And just keeping them locked in.
Man, you couldn't have asked for a better interview. Braelyn Johnson,
Yes,
the
sir.
offensive lineman. I'm glad we can get some of the big guys some spotlight. You've done a great job. I watch your highlights, and
Yes,
we were
sir.
talking about it. You're a physical tackle.
Yes,
You're
sir.
quick. You're elusive. And like to have the quickness in the feet and
Yes,
your
sir.
footwork and your hands, man, you're a complete lineman. And I thank you for being on this show with me.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to leave with the Central Texas football fans, your Hutto Hippo fans, and anything that you want to say about this upcoming game of the week as y'all are going for a 2-0 record in this 6A district?
Just shout out Hutto. Let's beat Manor.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. I'm Gerald Garza, Braelyn Johnson, second year starting offensive tackle, junior, 6'2", 210. Guys, thank y'all for joining us and look forward to this Friday night as Hutto travels to Manor and a district showdown. Appreciate it. That's going to do it for us that heard it here first. Guys, I want to give a huge shout out to Braelyn Johnson, who came on the show as a great athlete at 6'1", 210. The dude is long enough to create distance from defenders at a perfect weight where he's still shifty and quick. He's got good strength. He's got great feet. He's got great hands, and he's going to have a good matchup against our defensive ends, against Eddie Robinson and uh, Damian Godley. He's going to have some good matchups there, and we're going to be watching that left tackle defensive end matchup all night. That's going to be something to watch. You got Stefik and Cam. Stefik is having an outrageous season, and Camden's having a really good season, and these two dudes actually know each other from a while back, and so there's just a lot of friendly rivalries here. There's a lot of good football to be played. Hutto stands are going to be packed. Manor stands are going to be packed. It's going to be great football, guys. So thank you, Camden, once again for coming on the show, man. Braelyn, thank you. Manor fans, Hutto fans, y'all have yourselves a great game coming up this Friday night in Manor as the Manor Mustangs host the Hutto Hippos District 25 action. Y'all heard it here. 1,